our house did not always look like this. It is a bit of a mess looking right now because of all the asbestos removal that we had to do on the front of it. But that was a year ago, fully a year ago, that we started the renovation with the asbestos, because that's the first thing that you have to do is get rid of the asbestos. And so we had to start it, and then COVID hit. So for a year, our house has looked like it's got black eyes or it's really tired.
But the way she looks on the outside is nothing compared with what's going on inside. Today, we're diving into the demolition stage, and we're going inside while nearly everything is getting ripped out. We're just getting started here, so click like and subscribe because there's a lot ahead of us.
But I want to show you how it all began.
My husband Sean and I bought the house in 2010, and it was exactly what we'd been searching for, something with rental income, near a subway stop, and with a driveway. We were moving from Manhattan from the Upper West Side, where we lived for 15 years in another fixer-upper that we bought back in 1995 when we first met. This house was 3 floors, each within an apartment. It's clad in a gray, plasticky kind of imitation wood shingle that gives the impression of a weathered seaside cottage, if you squint. When we had it inspected, we were told that there most likely was going to be asbestos shingles underneath there somewhere.
So here on the side of the house, you can see the 2 spots where we had the siding removed. That's what they worked on, and that's where 2 windows are going to be. But when you look close, you can see all the different layers that they took off. There's the first layer, which seems to be the red layer, and there's a gray layer of shingle on top of that. Those are the 2 that had the asbestos. And then there's the normal vinyl siding. And there's the old wood from 1881. Well, there's the window way up there. So those are the 2 windows, but the first thing that they had to do was come over here to the side of the house and cut holes into our house and do a core sample. So it's about the size of like a silver dollar. And then they take that sample, they did another one over there. And then we had to send the samples away. A couple of weeks later, they sent us back and they said, yes, you have asbestos in your roof, in your siding. We had pipes in the basement that were wrapped in asbestos. So that's when we had to call the abatement guys.
A few weeks after the asbestos was removed in February, the coronavirus shut down much of the entire country, and our worksite came to a halt. I lost my job, we lost our construction loan, and the house just sat empty for months. In August, we got a new loan at a much lower interest rate.
Guys, for camera,
I started a new job, and our general contractor finally pulled the permits, and by December, we were in full demolition. And since I've got the keys, we're going inside. I can hear them upstairs already. Oh my God, look how far they have already come.
Look at this guy. He looks like he's gonna fall up.
Wow. It's crazy we can look through the walls. See right into the old apartment.
There's the lights going from the front to the back all the way through.
There's going to be a window right here at the top of the stair.
Right.
So we'll have window light coming right in here at the side of the house.
Morning.
So this is going to be our living room, kitchen, dining area. This is the view without all these walls.
Easy counting.
It's the first time like we're actually getting to see it open. All of these rooms had a drop ceiling. They had lowered the ceilings by like 2-3 feet. So first there was the drop ceiling that came down, and that's the plaster of the original ceiling in the room from 1881.
The previous landlords, they dropped the ceiling so they'd have less space to heat. It's cheaper that way.
If you look in the far ceiling area, you can see the white original plaster ceilings that were in the house when the drop ceilings came down. There's a couple of places here you can see the molding, and we took a little cast of it so we can replicate it. There was so little of the house that was left, it was really cool to at least see some of the original ceilings. Oh, this is my favorite part.
I fully expect a squirrel family to come falling out of there.
At lunchtime when they take a break, going in and just seeing it quiet. Because I just didn't want to get in their way too much before.
Okay. So the piles are categorized, right? You can see there's like wood in one, and there's plaster in another. There's a system.
Right, they're being organized, even in this mess. Wait, so you can see, look, the drop ceiling and the old ceilings. Anybody want a cup of tea? The different layers. This is what it'll be like walking from the back of the house through the kitchen area and here into the living room at the front of the house. It's amazing to have this experience for the first time. Oh, they didn't cover up our staircase like they were supposed to. They have to protect that thing.
Oh no. And so that's where the old chimney was, right?
Yeah, in the front of the house, that was the chimney up and down, but that was removed by the previous owners.
Right.
Dumpster arrived.
Okay, that's lovely, but how about a change of pace? A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. After using the ground floor as a staging area for the last few weeks, the demo upstairs is done, and now the men are attacking the rental apartment. Our main goal is to create a second bedroom and move the small kitchen into the living room. These guys really managed to keep the worksite clean, bagging up all the materials, and then, when the dumpster arrives, moving it out.
So it's pretty amazing to see all of this open space. We've just been looking at all these different rooms in this space, and now this is going to be our big living room. And so it's great to see this space. But I want to introduce you to our general contractor. There he is. Guys, this is Martin, our general contractor. Because we have now just finished all this demolition. There's been a lot of violence going on in the house. I want to know about the process of demolishing the house and what the process is of getting everything out of this old house and what you found.
Well, so demo, it's always the first thing you do at every house. First, we take care of the power. We make sure that the power is cut off. You never know what's going to happen inside the walls. You take care of the water, you take care of the gas, and that means you can safely remove all the walls. Now, demo is always the part that actually helps you understand what the true condition of the house is. Architectural drawings are one thing, it's what you desire to have. The true condition of the house can be only discovered and learned after you take all the walls down and partition and you uncover the structure of the house. And this particular house being built in 1881, can surprise you here and there.
There's some secrets behind the walls,
yes,
right?
There is definitely secrets behind the walls.
So what did you find, like, when the demolition happened in our house?
Are we in a good place?
I think we are in a good place because knowing from the plans that we will be renovating this house, we could assume what's going to happen and what we're going to find, right? For instance, if you look at this wall, we assume there's going to be a lack of insulation. We assume that could be some water damage.
Right, that's our front wall.
Material. We assume that the windows you've had are not the actual size of windows that were here originally. So it's not a surprise. What surprises you is, for example, the condition of the rafters. If the architects are hoping that we can reuse the original rafters and level our floors and still use them as our floor material, yours are in a surprisingly good condition. There is maybe one or two rafters in this house that are twisted and bent, and we cannot actually use them as a structural base for new flooring. But the remaining parts, we will keep them. They're very healthy. They show very little stains from water, from leaks. They are fairly leveled and straight, and surprisingly, this being 1881 house, after demolishing dozens of homes throughout 12, 15 years, this is in surprisingly good shape.
They come in and they just start ripping down from the ceiling. And it seemed complete, utter chaos. It's not?
It is big chaotic. Because there was a lot of dust and there were things falling down, and then you just pile things right in the middle of the room, and then when you have no more room to move, then you bag everything and then you carry it out and you put it in a dumpster, and then you swap those dumpsters with another and another and another, and then you move down from floor to floor, right? And you can just see dumpsters being filled up and then going away, and then a new one comes in and you just throw the stuff away.
Can you explain the brick infill in the walls and the fact that sometimes it's here and sometimes it's not?
Yes, so this is called nogging, and the brick infill actually serves two purposes. Purpose number one is to keep the vertical rafters in place so they don't bend, they don't separate from the framing. It kind of locks them in. And a second, this was the way of fireproofing, sealing, and insulating the house back in 1800s.
Right.
Now, if you see, there is a section of nogging is being separated by vertical beams, and this thing is kind of just sits there and it likes to be loose.
Oh, wait, do that again. Look, you can move it?
Yes, you
Holy
can move
shit.
it. Some of them you can move, some of them you can't, right? Like this one will move, you see a broken plaster all over the place, some of them you can't. Now this, you see, this was completely loose. And as we were doing demo, there was a chance it could fall on someone's head or just fall on its own, so we had it removed, right? These are sitting pretty sturdy.
Right.
Very little movement, so we're gonna keep them, right? All of these sections that you see missing, we're gonna have to backfill them and bring the house back to its original conditions just for fire stopping, fireproofing, and insulation. So the nogging, that was the wave in late 1800s, and early 1900s for wood frame homes to actually provide fireproofing, insulation, and rigidity to the house, right? And you'll see it all over the place.
What is it that we're looking at right there? Like behind our brick and behind the uprights, That's our next door neighbor's house, isn't it?
That is a siding from a next door house. Your house was built right next to it. The space in between the houses is so small that the houses were meant to be very close one to another. So it was actually easy just to build a new frame next to your neighbor's home, and that's his siding over here. And it was very easy just to fill it with nogging and fill it with plaster and lath, and houses seem to be attached, but they actually are not.
It's taken about 4 weeks of demolition to reveal the bones of our house and to give us our first look at the space that we've only been dreaming about on paper for the last 11 years. We're thrilled to be done with this demo and love that you're interested in our renovation as well, guys. Next time, we're going under the house to see how it used to be heated and up on the roof as we take our 4-story tall chimney down to the ground. Make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell to be alerted when our next episode drops.